Welcome to episode 2 of the SteveFreeto podcast. Today's going to be a special one. We dig real deep into the dramatic early days of SteveFreeto. I'm going to share everything that should have been shared with a therapist years ago. But first, here's a quick word from a sponsor. Are you like SteveFreeto and do you have childhood trauma? It's important to know that help is out there. In fact, there's better help for you. Whether you want to talk, listen, or work through issues or concerns, BetterHelp is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can choose a counselor that best fits your needs. Find a counselor in your area that can understand what help you need the most. If after a few sessions you want a different counselor, you can get even better help. Just log onto your account and find someone to best fit your needs. BetterHelp. It's like getting help, but in a better way. Don't forget to use our offer code for a free month of BetterHelp. Just use the Freeto at checkout. That's TheFreeto. BetterHelp. We are here for you. Hey, I love that sponsor. They're more like a partner to me. There was so much positive feedback from episode 1. If there's time, I'm going to read some of the fan mail we received from the podcast. Not everyone has a +1 to take home to the holidays. Are you tired of your parents asking, when are you going to settle down? Or, are we ever going to be grandparents? Or, are you gay? Well, +1 is the service for you. You can swipe through our selection of +1s to find the temporary mate for you. Just take our short online quiz and you can find a single serving or a long-term fake mate to show off to friends and family. Don't worry. All of our +1 significant others go through a thorough screening to make sure that you are the sociopath in the relationship. We offer a safe and secure relationship with clearly defined boundaries. Log on to +1 for a free trial. Use the offer code TheFreeto for a free coffee date. That's TheFreeto, TheFreeto. +1 is the one for you. Hey, I know that times are tough out there. This podcast is meant to be a shared journey. We're all very similar in all of our differences. I love knowing that we are connecting. I love this podcast. Do you own a cat? Do you think your house is free of that cat pee smell? Well, believe it or not, your house does indeed smell like cat urine. Trust us, we also live with cats. Try Asparapus, the cat pee deodorizer for your cat's litter box. Asparapus removes the cat pee scent and replaces it with the delightful scent of asparagus. Get your sample today. Use the Freeto at checkout for a free sample of Asparapus. Erase that cat pee smell today. The Freeto, TheFreeto. Hey, the SteveFreeto podcast is indeed the only podcast where SteveFreeto will be SteveFreeto for all of you SteveFreeto fans to get to know SteveFreeto. I would know. I am SteveFreeto. You know, I didn't really like my middle name in middle school and high school. It was Curtis, and I didn't like Frito. You know what? I've learned to love it. And, to quote Jay-Z, I'm not a businessman. I am a businessman. The Freeto, TheFreeto. Hey, some podcasts will let anyone be a sponsor. Here at the SteveFreeto podcast, we partner with only the best products and services out there. If you want to be considered as a top sponsor for this podcast, please contact The Freeto at thefreeto.tv. That's TheFreeto at TheFreeto.tv. This podcast has been a labor of love for me. I really enjoy bearing my soul and letting all of you into my world. Some say I'm hard to love, but you know what? I am the one I love. We haven't had time to sort through the data to find out the demographics of our listeners, but everyone is welcome here at the SteveFreeto podcast. Hey, do you hate certain types of people? Do you believe you're better than others? Do you want to control what women will do with their bodies? Well, the Republican Party wants you. With a few years of training, you too can be a hate monger working in Washington, D.C. Use the Freeto at checkout, TheFreeto, and you will be entered in a free drawing for senatorship of the state of Kentucky. Republicans, we party like it's 1618. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. This has been another episode of the SteveFreeto podcast. Remember, you cannot spell anti-capitalist without I. See you next week. Oh, and don't forget about our favorite sponsor, Harry's Dollar MeUndies Private Part Shave Club. Tell them the Frito sent you.